Welcome to another week of Wait What? Straight Conversation Network with Jesse and Dre and Jesse getting it in once
Yeah, yeah.
again. How's it going? How's it going, Dre?
Dog, it's good. It's good. How you doing? How you doing?
All right. Testing out some new studio equipment, which pretty much
Ah,
me in my studio room testing out a new microphone and speaker setup. Nothing too big,
nice.
nothing too big. So how's your week going?
It's going good. Just got some new soap lines going.
Some new
Um,
soap.
New soap, baby. If this yo guy's making soaps and it's sick with it. Be
I was
truthful.
watching a movie where a guy wanted to make candles. I think it was a Christmas movie, and he didn't want to tell his father that he wanted to make candles instead of going into the family business. So, are you making soaps?
Yeah, I'm making soaps and I'm making lotions and I'm making shampoos
You
and
talking about like clean soap, right? Like not.
scrub your body, get them nasty armpits all smelling good type soaps. Yes, sir.
You making them from scratch?
From scratch and making foot scrubs and everything else.
That's cool, man. That's cool. It's good to be creative, man. I have no creativity. I mean, except
It's
hearing
never
myself
fun to be
talk. I like to
honest
hear
with you.
myself talk. Um, but outside of that, anything good for your week?
Yeah, I'm going to Friday. I got the biggest show I've ever been in for my business, and we basically sank everything we have into this show this week.
Oh wow! Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Right? Sink or swim or get divorced, one or the other.
Put all your marbles in. So I have a question, man. Do Minnesota got a basketball team? Are you like a Minnesota basketball fan?
Wow, you act like okay. Yes, there's the Timberwolves.
Oh, I mean, but are you a basketball fan?
Yes, just not of the Timberwolves.
Well, before we go into that, man, tell me this, dude. This is what I don't understand about Minnesota sports. How do you lose to the Lions, dude? How do you lose to the Lions? You
It
go
is
all that
entirely
way.
possible to lose to the Lions and then come back a week later and smack the crap out of a team. It happens. Um,
But they haven't won a game all season.
yeah, but the thing is, nobody's perfect, right?
Well, they're not perfect at losing now because of the
Exactly.
Vikings. Even
It's
the
actually
Bears
look,
beat the.
Jesse. It makes sense. I mean, I want to really just feel bad about it, but if you look at it, there's not a team in the NFL that doesn't have like more than that doesn't have less than like four that doesn't have less than four losses, right? Like, um,
But you can't lose to the Lions, man.
no, you can't. No, there's so much parity, and there's a thing that's called
Not with the
individual
Lions,
parity.
though, dude. You
Yeah,
trying to tell they
Jesse,
haven't won
I
a game all
understand you
season.
want to be funny, but the Packers were once the laughing stock too, and the Packers have had their fair share of losses, and the Patriots. Oh my God, the Patriots. Let's not talk about how many
They look
times
amazing.
the Patriots have lost to the Jets and the Dolphins over and
When?
over. The Patriots. What do you
Why
mean
you bringing
when?
up when? You mean like
Why are you bringing it up?
you mean
Why are you
like
bringing
ever?
that up, please?
You mean
The
like
Patriots lose
ever?
to the Jets and the Dolphins every single year, and the Jets and
No,
Dolphins are
they
not even
don't.
in
Are
the
you
same spot.
kidding? They
And they
dominate the
do.
AFC every year.
The Patriots would go 12-4, and two of those losses will be against the Jets and the
No.
Dolphins, and it's every single year.
Oh
It
my god.
is
All
what it
right.
is, man.
All
Don't want
right.
to deny
Hey,
it. Don't
so
want to
so
deny reality. What I want to know is how are the Patriots playing against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins should be in the AFC South. But we'll just leave that one alone.
hey, hey, I don't even know. I don't even know, but I like them in the division because we beat up on them. But hey, so what do you think about what Curry did, breaking a 3-point record? I mean, he's only 33 years old.
He's got
How
another
great is
7 years
Curry?
of balling left, actually. If you think
You
about it,
said what?
he's got a good 7 years of balling
I was
left.
thinking the same thing. Like he got 5 to 7 more years, and man, and then he's gonna start to slow down eventually. Imagine
Yeah,
how many more 3 pointers he's gonna
he's got
shoot.
another 2 years worth of just killing them 3 pointers left. He's got another
I
two
don't know.
years
I
of
think as he get
fire
older,
training,
he'll be shooting more threes and probably
and he'll be smarter.
hitting more. I mean, because he's not gonna be driving as much, and he's just gonna
He's
camp
gonna,
out in the
man, it's
3 point line.
that record's gonna be unbreakable. Well, maybe not. Maybe Trey Young breaks it because there's so many threes being done now. So maybe
No,
his record's
no,
just
nobody's gonna break that. That's ridiculous.
nah. Trey Young might, Melo
No,
might.
I mean, like you say, he still got 5 to 7 more
He's
years,
still
man.
got years to add on to it though. But is he gonna keep hitting them at the pace he's doing?
Yeah, he will. I mean, once you're a sharpshooter like that, that's what you are. You're a
Yeah,
sharpshooter.
he is what he is. But
I
he's
once read that
busy
Bird hit
too.
17. I heard Bird went to the Indiana when he was the executive of the Indiana. I think it was 17 straight threes at practice at Indiana, and they were like, "Dude, after your executive do that, do you keep practicing so you get harder, or do you just go home?" I mean, Bird was still knocking down 3 pointers.
Right.
Like when you can shoot, you can shoot. I mean,
Yeah, when
you
you
don't
can
have to
shoot, you can
move.
shoot.
You know, that's one thing. Is like it's not like dunking where you lose your hops. I
Right.
mean,
Shooting, shooting.
if you got an eye for shooting, you can shoot.
You shooting.
And so do you think he's the greatest 3 point shooter of all time?
I think Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. I think he's the greatest. I think Steph Curry is the greatest. All right. Steph Curry is the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. I think Klay Thompson is the best shooter of all time.
Really?
They both play on the same team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Klay Thompson would get a
But
lot more
Clay's
props if he didn't play with Curry.
deadly.
But
Clay is
but
a Curry.
Klay is deadly. Klay is a beast.
No one has range like Seth, right? Steph got range, like where's
From
Steph is in
anywhere
the
on the
parking
court.
lot. Well, you better stick him because he's going to shoot, right?
Right.
He's in the parking lot, he's open, right? But with Klay Thompson, it doesn't matter where he is. He's scoring. You know what I mean? Klay Thompson he's like Reggie Miller, and he's Kobe Bryant without the driving. He's just, really? Oh, okay. You want me to go right? I'll go right. I'm gonna kill you here. Oh, you want me to go left? Oh,
I don't know that he's a better shooter
I'm gonna
than
kill you here. He's
Curry.
a better shooter than Steph.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know if the
He's a
numbers
better
says that.
shooter than
But I
Steph.
mean,
And he's a
didn't
better
he hit like
defender than
11?
Steph, too. He's
Didn't
actually
he
a
hit
better
like
player than
11 or
Steph.
14? He hit like 11 or 14 3-pointers and a half or something before.
Clay hit.
I mean, but so did Steph.
One game where Clay hit 50 and a half.
Huh?
Clay hit 50 and a half.
Oh, I don't
Right?
recall
You
that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm good.
Clay is beast, but Steph's. I mean, it's hard to put anything. But when you think about great point shooters, outside of, and I'm not talking about numbers, outside of Steph, who did you think was the best 3-point shooter? Not current players. I mean,
Ray
you have
Allen,
like
Reggie Miller, Kobe
Bird.
Bryant. I thought Kobe was a really good 3-point shooter. I thought Ray Allen was
No,
the best.
compared to who?
Who you thought? What, Kobe?
Kobe was not compared to the greats 3-point shooters.
Kobe was a damn good 3-point shooter, but
I don't know, man. I have to check his 3-point percentage.
When you shoot at 40%, you're doing pretty good.
Kobe was not shooting 40%.
Yeah,
I can't buy that, man.
look it up.
I gotta check that.
He might have been like 33.4 or something crazy, but I
That's a big difference.
He actually been 40 because he didn't take a lot of threes. So what was he from the three?
He was 32.
32?
So about 1 out of every 3. That's not bad for a 6'6" guard.
Because he shot like everywhere, right? But though, like Ray Miller, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller.
Clay shoot 40% from the field, from the 3-point.
Yeah, that's nasty.
So
yeah, I don't think
there's a big difference.
There's not been a ton of greats. Like Larry Bird was a great shooter, but it doesn't mean he was a great 3-point shooter because it was.
He was a great 3-point shooter. What are you talking about, man?
Larry Bird got to sniff 3 points. He didn't get to live at 3 points. So there's a difference.
What? Man, are you crazy? That's what I remember Bird for.
Look how long you remember Bird for the end of Bird's career.
No, I'm saying.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Bad back Larry came in with the 3-point shot.
Dude, Bird shot 37% from 3-point.
Yes,
that's great.
How many years?
He's like 6'10", dude. Dude, he's like 6'10".
He didn't have the 3-point shot that long. I'm just saying, he really did.
Oh my God, his first year he shot 40%. No, that wasn't his first year.
Yeah, his first year there were threes.
No, he at 79 he shot 40. Yeah, his first year he shot 41% from 3-point land.
There were no 3 points in
79. Yeah, what? I'm looking at the stats,
there
man.
There was not a 3-point shot in 79.
I'm looking at the stats. What are you talking about?
There was not a 3-point shot in 79.
I am looking at the stats,
I don't know what you're looking at, but they might have broke like
statistics.
what would have
See,
been
that's why I got to
20
keep
games
the
last
internet
year.
on with you, man, because you be killing me with alternate facts. So, hey, so here's something that came up. The juice is loose, man. OJ is free for probation. So, did you fall into the camp that you thought OJ did it, or you thought he didn't? You still looking up the 3 point stat?
Oh wow, it did start in 1979. Well, they weren't shooting the
See,
damn thing. Um, yeah, I think OJ did it. No, I don't think OJ did. I think OJ was there.
so you think he had somebody else do it, or he did it with
Yeah,
somebody?
I think, and it's an unpopular opinion, but skip it. I think Nicole had a huge cocaine problem because it was publicly known that she had a huge cocaine problem, or at least if you knew,
And so does everybody in Hollywood.
she had a huge cocaine problem, but she was hugely in debt and she owed a huge amount of money, and he was there, and he had no choice but to watch as somebody slit her throat, and then that idiot felt was
What?
saying they told OJ, if you don't pay us, this is what happens to your kids.
Dude, where did you get that from?
I
Okay.
understand you think it's far fetched, dude,
Yeah, I do.
but it's really not if you consider the game.
No,
It's really not. If you consider the game and what these people actually do to get their money, and we're talking coke, and we're not talking like regular people like you or me or the guy on the corner, I'm talking that's light.
no,
So,
you're not, dude. You're making that up. You're complete. Like there is no evidence that there was any cocaine deal going on. Where do you even get this?
I said she owed money. I didn't say it was over cocaine. I said she owed money. There's
So
no
you think they
evidence.
killed her because she owed cocaine money?
She owed like $250,000 in cocaine money. Yeah,
Why would somebody give her $250,000 in cocaine money,
because she's married to OJ Simpson.
dude? Okay, all right, man. Okay.
Well, $250,000 was really not a ton of money for him at that point in time. Actually, he was rolling in the money. Literally,
No,
there was
no. He,
nothing.
wa- he haven't thrown it. He had to sell his Heisman trophy. Like, dude, come
He
on.
had to
I
do all
mean,
because
oh,
think about it, Jesse. You act like all that stuff happened overnight. Like
that's like the
he
most
wasn't broke
irrational
that day. Yeah,
OJ comment I have ever heard.
his wife didn't die and he was broke the next day. That's not how it happened.
All right.
The
I
man
personally
had
think
hundreds of millions.
I thought you was going somewhere else when you said that there was somebody else. There was
No,
a
I think somebody else. I think it was over drugs. But I think he was there and she was killed. But I don't think he killed her. I do. I think he was there.
oh my god. I have never heard that story
What's your theory?
ever.
What's your theory based on nothing else other than you have an idea?
Well, it's a lot better than that one. I mean, my theory is either that OJ probably killed her. I mean, that's what all the evidence pointed to, except they tampered and messed up the DNA uh, part of the evidence. But I mean, OJ clearly had. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence that pointed to OJ. I mean, I haven't heard ever anything to do with like coke. I mean, I don't even know where that came from, but hey, everybody got their own
She had a
theories,
huge
right?
coke problem.
Everybody in Hollywood got a huge coke
So then
problem
why is it beyond the realm of possibility for you? Why does it seem like that's something that just wouldn't be a thing?
because there's never ever been any hint that may be the cause of the death. So I
Why
don't
would
know.
there be?
There has never been any
So
thought
it's better to
like,
say that. So it's better to say he slit his wife's throat and then Ron's throat, who just happened to be at walking in the door.
well, they both could have been there. I mean, I don't know the details of how it
Ron
happened,
was dead
but I
on
do
his wife's
believe
door.
OJ was
His wife
directly involved.
Ron was dead in the door. His wife was dead in the house.
Right. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to pretend like I know all the details. What I do believe is OJ was directly involved. And uh, I'm not sure how he ended up doing 9 years for an armed robbery in Nevada with no criminal record, but I'm sure that had a lot to do with the payback.
Are you sure
Uh,
it had nothing to do with like fact it was, I don't know, armed robbery?
Somebody said I thought the Kennedy conspiracy was outrageous, but this cocaine, this the cocaine. I can't even repeat it with a straight face. The cocaine theory is the most outrageous theory I have ever heard. and conspiracy theories. And Kennedy, they did release like thousands of documents right on Kennedy. I'm scared to even ask you what happened to Kennedy.
Oh, I don't think the magic bullet. I think the magic bullet's garbage.
So what do you think happened to Kennedy?
All right, Washington Post. So, so just so when you wanted to claim that you never heard about the drugs and blah 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 blah.
I never heard. No, I never said that. I never heard that she was.
Stop. Judge Ito barred the defense attorneys from presenting testimony that O.J. Simpson's ex-wife and their male friend were killed by drug dealers who were seeking to collect the debt from her cocaine abusing friend Faye Resnick. I'm just saying it was a thing that they tried to present. The judge was like,
why did he stop it from presenting?
That doesn't mean it didn't happen. So when you say, I never heard of it, it literally was a thing.
I did. I never heard of it until now. I would admit, that's the first time I ever heard of it.
Like, no, you can't say this. No, you can't do. Judge Ito was really like, no, you can't bring that. Oh, you cannot disparage your character. No, you can't. Judge Ito was just really like, you can't.
Well, I'm assuming that there was probably nothing to back it up versus them just saying it.
No, he ruled the defense theory was highly speculative, and that his team had offered no evidence to support it.
Exactly, that's what I just said.
He refused to allow Resnick's boyfriend to testify about the use of cocaine while living at Nicole's townhouse. Holy crap! So yeah, so no, he was like, yeah, you do. You can't testify about the fact that you guys use cocaine at her house. No.
Yeah, because there's no evidence to.
Except witness testimony says I did cocaine with her.
Sure, everybody in Hollywood does cocaine.
So still, but it
everybody all over the country does cocaine.
Okay, so here's my thing.
You gotta have some proof that that's the reason for her death.
Let's be really clear. You think OJ killed those two people, left all that blood, not one footprint? He's really good. I'm not saying it's beyond the realm of possibility. What I'm saying is my cocaine theory has exactly as much plausibility as your. Well, he did it.
No, it's not because he was on.
How did he not get? How was her blood not?
Huh? Because he was on trial for murdering her. So of course it's easy to say. So yours don't hold as much water because he actually was on trial for murder. So the whole cocaine theory is like
everybody who's on trial.
It's outrageous, dude. It's literally outrageous. I mean, literally.
Who's on trial is guilty, Jesse.
Huh?
Everybody who's on trial did it.
No. I'm saying the theory of him doing it is more plausible than the outrageous cocaine theory because it never was even introduced. It was never allowed at court.
He killed two people, Jesse. He left one in the doorway. He left one in the house. And he didn't leave one bloody footprint, but there was blood everywhere.
So you think he had to step in the blood?
Boy,
he left his gloves. Hey, didn't he leave his gloves
at the same time? So
didn't he leave his gloves?
Oh, the bloody gloves.
Yeah,
they didn't fit.
Oh my God, man!
If it don't fit, you must acquit, and the glove did not fit.
Yes, like Seinfeld. That was a Seinfeld episode too.
Where do you think Seinfeld got it from?
I know it was a joke.
Let's quit. Johnny Cochran he literally said it's court record. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
But that's not why they acquitted. They acquitted because a lot of mishandling in that trial by the people who was collecting evidence.
Because like Mark, what's his face?
Furman. Mark Furman.
The cop was a racist cop, and then that
Mark Furman.
Oh my God, he was a racist cop, and then that chick, she was a mess.
Marcia Clark.
Oh, that ruined her career. That was a career ruining trial.
She make TV shows now. I'm sure she's okay.
Right? Like seriously, like you got destroyed. Like you didn't just get beat. Cochran wiped the floor with her.
Well, it wasn't just Cochran though. It was a whole dream team.
Yes, Cochran and Kardashian wiped the floor.
But that's the problem with American justice.
Piece, dude. Robert Kardashian was a mobster, yo. He was a mob fucking.
Okay, let's not say he wiped the floor with too much because honestly, OJ did get off, but let's be real. I mean, when you have that type of money to pay for those type of lawyers, more than likely you're gonna get off. That's just the way it works.
You did it.
Huh?
Unless you did it.
There's a lot of people that got off. What was the one dude that got off? Blake? Didn't he kill his wife?
No, Blake went to
He was
jail.
in Hollywood at this. Huh?
Blake went to jail.
No,
Robert Blake went to prison.
for killing that lady.
He killed his wife. He went to prison.
I don't think so.
He's dead too, I think.
I don't think he went to jail. He was found not guilty. See?
Oh man, he's dead
Oh
now.
my god.
Yeah.
So
Oh, is it
so
possible? Wait, do we know he killed her? Or are we just saying he killed because he went to court?
dude, she was shot while he was there on his watch. He ran back to the restaurant to get his gun that nobody ever seen. The dude pretty much was threatening her life. She used him, got pregnant. I don't know, like all the evidence that was pointed to
When
him.
you say pretty much, that means you have literally not one fact. You're like pretty much, kind of, sort
Because
of.
I don't remember the exact case, but all the evidence that pointed in was pointed that he killed her.
Well, say la vie.
But he got off. A lot of people get off.
Yes, just not poor.
So but before we get off these like I gotta hear your theory on the John F. Kennedy thing, man. I gotta hear it.
John F. Kennedy was killed by our very own government.
Do you believe the government killed John F. Kennedy?
I believe the powers behind the government killed John F. Kennedy because he was about to do some shit he wasn't supposed to.
And what was that?
Give some black people some power.
Kennedy wasn't giving any black people any power.
Yep, he was done telling Martin Luther King to wait.
Well, Lyndon B. Johnson pushed through all the civil rights bills, so I don't think that really.
Wait, no, stop. After Kennedy was dead, and after King was killed, then Lyndon B. Johnson pushed everything through.
Well, when he became president, so he continued Kennedy work.
He didn't really continue Kennedy's work, if you think about it. He kind of just signed some shit that was really meaningless, and
Meaningless.
and then they completely and then they completely made it so it was just worthless because it was
The Civil Rights Act was meaningless.
Unless you think separate but equal is a good thing.
Wait. The Civil Rights Act was meaningless.
All right, so let's see. We got the right to vote, so we couldn't vote anywhere. Right? We got all kinds of things that we got all kinds of freedoms that we couldn't actually use. Right? I mean, to be really honest, he signed really a worthless piece of paper. I mean, and to this day, and Texas just did it, just did it, where they made our votes count less. Like, I don't know what this is that you think was accomplished by him signing that. And the man said, if we sign this bill, if we sign the civil rights bill, we'll have the niggers voting for us for the next 400 years. The man said it. You know what?
So you believe? Wait. So you believe the Civil Rights Bill was meaningless?
I believe the civil rights bill was only signed because they found a way where it would benefit them and they could control a real portion of the population, which they absolutely have done. I'm not saying you now. You should not fight this because I am not talking about you. Right? You are a progressive. You are not one of them liberal, left-leaning sons of bitches who think black folks can't do anything. You're not one of those who think black people need to depend on the government. You are not one of those people who think black people need somebody else to lift them up. You're not one of those people who think all this other stuff. You don't think black people are fucking incapable of making a decision on their own.
And you think most black people think that way?
No, but most Democrats do, and they know it because they have us. They own this. Jesse, seriously, when you provide the food and the housing, you own the vote. There's no way around it. And every year, all you got to do is give them a little bit of a raise. And to God. And
wow.
So what do they actually do? And I understand, and I get it. Like what you're doing as a progressive, this is where we get it wrong. As a progressive, you're like, okay, I understand that I want free college, but I want free college people that actually go get jobs.
Where's free college coming from?
No, progressive.
Why every time people talk about progressives, they talk about free college or free healthcare?
When I say free college, I mean free after high school, not like free freaking University of Illinois. I mean like, whatever it is, Santa Monica Junior College, whatever it is, for Bob's Trade School, whatever the hell it's called. right? Free, free secondary, whatever, right? So people can go out and actually get quality skills and actually go out and make good money. That's how it probably really should be. I'm all for, I am 1 billion% behind having freaking universal health care. I am 1 billion% behind everybody just going on Medicare if they want to. Um, to be really fair, I'm 1 billion% behind a ton of things. Actually, I do like a lot of things that your guy Bernie says. Some things make sense.
Wow.
I am all for the living wage. To be absolutely honest, I think the living wage should be determined based upon where it is the hell you live, not based on some fake number that that doesn't make any sense in some places. Right? The living wage should absolutely be based strictly on the county you live in, and it might even have to just go city by city, not county by county, because some cities are ridiculous and some counties are amazing, right? Like I don't know where you are, but because you're in Milwaukee County, right? Or you're in
No,
Madison.
I'm in Dane County. I live in Madison.
You're in Madison. Okay,
Different
so
than Milwaukee.
I'm assuming that it's probably a little bit more expensive to live in Madison than it would be to live in like Rice Lake,
Yeah, it is.
right? So
Yeah, it's a college town.
can you imagine living wage in Madison being forced upon some poor schmuck in Rice Lake? Can you imagine?
Well, the thing is about the living wage is that people refuse to even allow that. I mean, no matter what county you're in, people are not trying to give a living wage. Like I was
They're
reading a
not
stat
doing it.
today, like majority of Americans make less than $40,000 or $50,000.
Isn't that crazy?
Majority of Americans. I mean, you look. You. I mean, we continue to talk about this, but the poverty in America for us to be a wealthy country is asinine.
But
You
isn't that
know,
because we
like
have so many people?
so many people.
Isn't that because we have so many? All right, so we actually talk
No,
about our poverty numbers like
it's not because we
they
have so
soar
many people.
outrageous. Okay, but what percentage of any like America's percentage of people in poverty is actually not that much higher than anybody else's percentage of people in poverty. We just seem like it because we have so many people.
No, that's not it. Because
So
there's
Jesse,
other places that
look up the UK and look up the percentage of people in poverty in the UK and look at the percentage of people in poverty in America.
I'll look it up. 20%.
Now America, it's going to be like 25 or 26. It might be 50, but it's going to be like 25 or 26.
Uh,
Jesse's like, I don't like that number. Let me find a better one. There's got to be a 40 in there somewhere.
no,
Somewhere I'm
it's
going to find
wrong.
this.
This says 11%, and I know it's wrong.
No, see, oh, somebody doesn't like the actual numbers of
No,
America.
11% is wrong. I know it's wrong. You know
Dude,
it's wrong.
Jesse, no, it's not. How many people is 11%? Think about it.
30 million,
That's a shit ton of people, Jesse.
37 million people in poverty.
That's a shit ton of people, Jesse. It doesn't seem like it, but America's really, really, really freaking
But I think it
small.
also is based off of what you consider poverty rate is in America.
Okay, but here's the thing, Jesse. We just did this. You don't get to change it. The UK is 20% poverty. America has like 11%. I think it's closer to like 25. Either way, let's just say, and let's just be fair and say they're all equal at 20%, right? That's how it is everywhere in the world, though, dude. For some odd
No.
reason, we just, yeah. Our poverty numbers are no different than like Switzerland or Norway. I think it actually has higher percentage of poverty than we do.
Uh,
Yeah, and Norway
let's
has a
see.
living wage. Norway's average income's like $75,000 a year per person.
Norway poverty is 12%.
Huh? Look at that. We're better.
No. United States is 18%, is what I got.
Well, after you go from 11 to 18, you're gonna find one that's 25 now.
Because I think it depends on like how you're judging poverty also. I
Yeah,
mean,
so we're
like let's
moving to
be
go.
real. Like a lot of these other countries that you're talking about, they have things like universal health care, right? We have tons of
Exactly.
people
We
that
don't
don't have
have
health care.
universal health care. So think about this. Norway has universal health care and they have 12% poverty. You would think they would have zero if they have universal health care.
Why?
They
Why
have a
would you
living
think they got
wage.
zero poverty?
The average income in Norway is 75,000 a year. Look it up.
So why
I
do you
want
think
to
they would
say
have zero poverty?
I think it's Norway. I think it's Norway. I think it's Norway. It's one of those down there. I think it's Norway though. I think Norway has the average income of 75,000, but they also have no minimum wage.
So you don't believe in universal education?
I believe in no, I don't believe in universal education. I believe in universal healthcare, and I believe in education. I don't know what universal education is. That just seems weird.
Universal
Uh,
education means that, you know, out of our taxes, everybody help pay for education, just like we do high school. It
okay,
would be no
that's pretty
different.
much what we already do. We pay for high school. You mean pay for
Right.
college?
Yeah, why
You
not?
mean pay for post-secondary school? All
Why
right, fair
not?
enough. Do you believe in universal standards to get into that post-secondary school?
Yeah.
What should the standards be?
Each school will have their own standards like they do now.
No, you said universal. So what are the universal? What's the universe? What will be the requirements to get into the school? In order
I
to have,
just said it.
in order,
Each university will still have its own standards.
in order for the
Why would you have
state,
to change standards? Just
in
like,
order for the government, Jesse, to pay for someone else to
no,
go to
that is
college.
not true.
Let me
Because in
finish.
high school, there are certain high schools with different standards than other high
Yes, it's
schools.
just because high schools is public education. But once you graduate high school, you're uneducated.
Exactly.
Right, that's fair. But
So,
now,
in
once
my
you're an adult,
view,
Jesse,
college should be
once
public
you're an
education.
adult, once you are an adult, what is the grade point average that's required for the state to continue to pay for somebody to go to school?
What? Like, okay, I made the point already. I said each school will set its own standard. What's so hard to understand that?
I said, no, that's for the kid to get into that school. I said, what's the GPA that's required for the whoever the state's paying for to continue having their education paid for? I don't give a damn what the school requires you to get in. I want to know, are you cool with paying for somebody who gets D's? Are you cool with paying for somebody who gets
Yeah.
C's? Should they require to have a B average?
Why
Should they
not?
put forth any effort at all? Or can we just pay for the school and they just go for 4 years and fuck off all the time? And as long as they get
But
D's
you're not
and
going to
C's, you're good.
survive in a college if you're doing that
You can
because
survive in
colleges have
college and get all
standards.
D's. The
Colleges
doctor,
have standards.
Jesse, the doctor the millionaire doctor who got nothing but D's all through school at Harvard is still a doctor. You can get through college having D's. My question is, are we therefore
There's a
okay
doctor that got
paying for
all
kids
D's in
with,
Harvard.
are we okay paying for D average students to go to school? Are we okay with that?
Who said that? Again,
I'm
each school
asking
has
what's
its own
required.
standards.
I'm asking the requirements to have the federal government pay for these kids to go to school. I'm not asking what's required for the kids to be in the school, Jesse. I don't give a damn. I'm asking what is the requirement? Is there anything that's required for these kids to be able to qualify to get money to go to college? I'm assuming you're
They're not
talking
getting
about like
money.
the
The money is
University of
going to the
Michigan.
school.
I'm assuming you're talking University of Michigan.
I just said each university has its own standard. So Michigan is not going to let D students just skate through Michigan. You're not going to get a degree. You're not going to get to stay in school.
Okay, so when
So
they go, okay, so when they do, then they go. That's free. Then they get kicked out, and they get a bill because obviously have to pay for that. And then what happens?
the same thing that happens in high school. The government pays for a school. You go to school. You get an opportunity to learn. Do you think a D student in high school is going to decide that they want to go to college? How many D students that barely made it through high school is all of a sudden going to be like, you know what? I want to go to college.
How
Most
many A
people
students
once
in high school got to college and realized they couldn't hack it?
what?
Okay, I don't know if you went to college. How many A
I
schools?
went to college.
Fair enough. How many kids did you go to that went to college that weren't D students in school? Were pretty damn good, but they got to college and couldn't handle it.
Then stay in college.
They didn't stay in college, right?
Why? Okay, I don't understand why this is so hard for you to
Because Jesse,
comprehend.
because you for some odd reason, Jesse, you think it's oh, just write the check and that'll all be fine. But should there not be requirements if you're going to pay for somebody to do something?
I just said that each school makes their own requirements.
I fully get it.
I
But
said that like 10 times.
So that, but here's
What?
again, that's not what you literally you're saying you're not talking universal education then.
Yes, I am. Actually, I'm saying the same way we pay for grade school, the same way we pay for pre-K.
Then that's purely that's state education. That would have to be
What?
state education. It can't be a college. It can't be the
Why
University of
not?
Minnesota. The University of Minnesota's going to screw you.
What?
Okay. We agree, right, on free education for secondary school. We agree on that,
Right.
right? I literally
You
said
ag-
that. Like I said that.
You
on
agree with that? So what do we?
I said.
So what is the debate about?
What we're debating about is I asked. I think there should be requirements for a person to be able to go to school for free. And apparently, you think it should be a free for all. I also
No,
don't
I
think
do
it should be.
not.
I also don't think it should be the University of anything. I don't think it should be the University of Minnesota. I don't think it should be the University of Michigan. I don't think it should be the University of Idaho. I don't think it should be Washington State, Washington University,
Why not? Why do
Oklahoma
you
State.
care what
I do
school
not think it
accepts
should
them?
be. I don't think it should be a state school. I
Why?
think
Because it hurts your feelings that somebody else might have an opportunity? Why do
nope.
you care what school accepts them? If a school accepts them, why do you care?
Okay, once again,
You don't want people to have the same opportunity as you have or your kids have? I don't understand why you would care whether if Washington State accepts them, why do you care whether they go to Washington State?
because we're talking universal secondary education, and for some odd reason, you're like, well, fuck, why not Harvard? Why should they get into Harvard?
Because Harvard has standards. Again, Harvard would decide what students go to Harvard. You
Okay,
think all of a sudden
but once
Harvard
again,
is
once
going to be?
again,
Do you think? Do
Jesse,
you think all of a sudden Harvard is going to be flooded?
Harvard already does give students. Harvard already does give scholarships to students. So
Every school gives scholarships. We know
so
this.
then what's the big deal? So then what's
The big deal is students are leaving college with $300,000, $400,000 bills.
Then they should get.
You can't get a look. You can't.
Academic scholarships like the other students do, right?
You can't get a $10,000 business loan graduating out of high school, but you can get a $400,000 college loan. That's ridiculous.
Yes, I understand that's crazy, but no college costs $400,000 right out of high school. Harvard costs
Again,
$100,000 a year.
people. What?
Harvard costs $100,000 a year, I think.
I'm not talking about all up front. I'm saying every year, by the time you leave Harvard, you're gonna owe an astronomical bill.
You're $500,000 in debt when you leave Harvard.
So
absolutely, Harvard's a Ivy League school, right? When you go to Harvard, you have Ivy League aspirations, right?
Okay, forget Harvard. Go any average college, you're gonna leave with a
if you go to McAllen,
$200,000 bill.
If you go to say, all right, Jesse, I'm all for somebody going to Century College. I don't know why they have to go to the U of M. Why can't they just go to Century? You want to get your degree in whatever it is you want to get your degree in, something that get you a job, right? Right? We do agree that if you go to secondary education, it got to be so you can have a career, not because you just want to, I don't know, sit and discuss life.
Who get to decide that? You? Like, either the government pays for it or they don't. I mean, I'm not trying to judge on like, oh my God, okay, you're going for philosophy, you're going for this.
No,
it's like,
no, and that's the thing, and I think this is where the impasse is. While I am all for absolutely 100% paying for somebody to go to trade schools because trades are needed, I'm all for paying for somebody to go to whatever trucking school. I'm all for paying for somebody to go to
as long as they don't go for something that may put them on the same level as you.
And go to go to radio or whatever it is, so they can do broadcasting. I'm all for people to go and learn how to do television production. I'm all for people going to learn how to be firefighters. I'm all for learning how to acquire all these schools. There's a ton of skills that require schooling. What does not require schooling is philosophy. All right.
Again, why do you care what people go to school for?
Business management, I am all in, right? But you can go get your business management degree in construction or whatever business management you want at freaking Century College, or I don't know what the equivalent that would be in
Milwaukee. Should the schools be?
I'm assuming there's a Milwaukee Tech, so I don't know why they can't go to Milwaukee Tech. Why is it Milwaukee Tech is suddenly not good enough for somebody?
Who said it wasn't good enough? I said the schools. Again, the schools decide who gets in and who don't.
Because for the universal education to start somewhere, for that to start, it has to start somewhere. So it should start at the smaller schools, just because that makes sense. So it can be a test and see if it actually works.
It makes sense to who? Somebody that don't want people to have the same opportunities as them or their kids may have. That's the only reason why it makes sense.
How is
it's ridiculous?
You literally just said that you go.
Like, okay. I want to help you, but you only can do this. That's like telling people on welfare, like, well, you can't buy this, you can't buy that. You shouldn't buy this or you shouldn't buy that.
Okay, Jesse, I didn't say they couldn't buy anything, right? What I'm saying is if you're on welfare, here's the thing. If you're on welfare, right, there's certain places that you can go and spend your food stamps, whatever, right? However,
you can buy food. You can buy food, right?
I don't know where you live, right? But if you're on welfare, you go to Cub and you go to like what used to be Rainbow here. What people did not do was go to Byerly's. But there was a reason. Does that make sense?
Why?
Because Byerly's was fucking ridiculously outrageously priced.
Exactly. So who get to decide?
But there was you act like they still couldn't go to Cubs and they couldn't go to freaking Rainbow, and Byerly's Cub and Rainbow all have the exact same freaking food.
No, this is what I'm saying. You're missing the point of what I'm saying. I'm saying you have certain stores that may accept or may not accept uh, food stamps, right?
Right. No, all stores I think accept them.
No, not all stores. Some stores you got to apply to accept them.
I don't know where the hell
Anyway,
you live, but I can't imagine there's not one place you can buy food here that's like you can buy
I know places.
food.
Anyway,
There's not a grocery store in Minnesota where you that does not accept food.
okay, there. I know places. Anyway, so this is the thing, right? This is the thing. This is what I'm saying. Some stores can opt out if they won't, right?
Sure,
And choose
okay,
not to accept them.
we'll go with that. So some schools can opt out. I get what you're
The
saying.
schools pick, like the schools get to decide. Like, no,
So
you're not a Michigan. Like, you can't come to
Jesse,
Michigan. You
can
can't go to
University of
UW.
Michigan say no free tuition?
What?
Can University of Michigan say no? I don't want to participate in the universal education program.
I would be. I mean, I would be okay with that.
So if every major university and there's what 220 of them, if all 220 Division I schools said, "Nah, we're good," you'd be fine with that.
Again, as long as the school is deciding, I said I don't have a problem with it. The
Okay,
school will decide who gets in.
So then, where's your outrage about? Where's the outrage about all the advantages and people not being allowed to get the same opportunities? Where'd that whole thing go? Suddenly, you're good with them deciding that.
Those schools already decide who gets in. They already decide who gets in.
They're not deciding who, Jesse. They just said they're not doing the free universal program.
No, Michigan already fought against like affirmative action and these different types. Like they already decide who gets into the school. What would be different? There's nothing would change. Michigan would still decide. You would still have to fill out an application. You would still have to apply. You would still have to beat out the other 10,000 freshmen. You would still have to get accepted and get into the school. Michigan would decide whether you get in or not. Not Jesse, not Andre, not somebody down the street because of how they feel.
They apply, and then how do they pay for it? So then let's just say,
the same way they do high school. The schools are funded by. So if you get accepted, you go.
Colleges aren't funded like high schools are funded. You're aware.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been talking about the whole time. They should be.
So you think that property taxes should fund colleges?
Why not?
Does that make any sense to you, Jesse?
Taxes should fund colleges, yes.
No. Property taxes should fund colleges. Because that's
okay. How do you want to fund them? Wouldn't we be better off as a civilization with a smarter, more well-rounded,
so the property taxes,
more?
So we already our property taxes are already really high, right?
Okay.
Right. You're not both own homes, right?
No, I don't own a home.
Oh. Okay. So you know that beautiful high school that you and your daughters go to that was so amazing.
Yeah.
That's funded by the people who live by that school.
Okay.
Right? All right. So now you want those people not only to pay for that school and then all the other schools, the elementary schools, the junior high schools, and other schools in that neighborhood. You also want them to pay for the college that's down the street too.
People also pay taxes for stuff they don't use, dude. Taxes for like city buses and you drive cars.
Are you listening to this, Jesse? Are you listening to this? They're paying for all of the schools, kindergarten through 12th grade. And then you're saying, oh, well, while you're at it, we're going to raise your
Wait. Okay. For UW, the taxes don't pay for UW, right? No. UW is treated one of the only institutions in the country that's treated like a state agency. So all the funding from the UW comes from the state.
Yeah,
right. It's not property. It comes from the state. Yes, just like we give the department.
State colleges are
listen. No, UW has a different.
These things.
Would you listen? UW has a different method of doing things, right? Just like they give the DOA a certain budget, they give the UW a certain budget.
Every state has the University of Minnesota is the same way. University of Michigan is the same way. University of Iowa is the same way.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Look it up. I promise you.
I have looked it up.
Every state has one school. Every state has one, and that's funded by them, and all the other ones are pretty much private. And like we have University.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. You want to make it about property taxes? Who cares about property taxes?
No, what I'm saying.
All I'm talking about is taxes. So the government,
taxes doesn't. All right. So what taxes go up to pay for this? Then I guess what I'm asking. Don't say taxes go up. Be specific.
You want me to decide right now? I mean, I don't know right now.
Okay, but this is the problem with when you come up with stuff that needs to be paid for, it needs to be funded.
$10 billion a year. Okay, take it out of the. Okay, you want me to come up with something? You want me to come up with something? In order to send everybody to college for the whole year, it'll probably take like $10 billion. Take it out of the military budget. That's over ballooned and out of proportion.
Okay, the military budget has nothing to do with the federal budget. So once again, keep moving.
What do you mean the military budget has nothing to do with the federal budget? Military is federal.
You've never ever actually looked at the federal budget, have you?
So the military budget don't come out of the federal budget?
No.
No, you just make up stuff. Like literally, you just make up stuff.
The military budget is not part of the federal budget.
So how does the military get funded?
It has its own spending. It's the military gets discretionary spending.
Wow. So when the government decides to raise the military budget, it's not. It's not. You know what, dude? That's just insane. It's insane. Anyway, let's move along, man. This is crazy. God. I can't even believe you said that. Look it up.
The total defense budget is large to other countries, but it's 15% of the total federal government spending. For some odd reason, Jesse, you're under the impression that it's like 5.
Wait. Say that again.
The defense budget is very large compared to other countries, right? But it's just over 15% of total federal government spending.
15% of the federal budget.
No, it's 15% of total federal government spending. There's a difference.
Oh my God, man!
Jesse. No, there is. All right. So, how it works? All right. So, in 2020, U.S. federal spending was about 4.7 trillion. That was.
And the military budget is 15% of that.
All right.
That's how it works.
One of the reasons defense budget is so large, we expect the military to do many things. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, so yeah, it's only.
Never mind, man. Never mind. Let's move along, dude. Let's move along.
It's 15% of overall spending, but that's not part of the budget. Oh my God!
What does that mean to you, dude? That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, believe it or not, it's discretionary.
Okay. It's still part of the budget. Anyway, let's talk about something else, man. My question to you: do you believe in global warming?
Why would I not believe in that?
I don't know. I'm just asking, dude. So, do you think like tornadoes and inclement weather we're seeing has anything to do with that?
All right. So, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Defense spending accounts for more than 10% of all federal spending and nearly half discretionary spending. Total discretionary spending for both defense and non-defense purposes is typically about 1/3 of the annual federal budget.
Yeah. Okay. You keep reading the same thing again. It's part of the budget.
The military spending is not as much as you think it is.
I know how much the military is.
Discretionary just means, okay, yes, while it's in the budget, it's not part of it. Like, seriously, it's no matter what they do with the budget, the military money just kind of hangs there. It is what it is. And it's not even a tenth of what's actually being spent. So all your other money that you think is missing is just being misallocated to other BS.
Who said I think it's missing? I said take a part of the military budget and pay.
There's so much more going everywhere else. Why is the military is only 10% of the getting 10%?
$800 million on the military is ridiculous.
10% of discretionary spending. That means there's.
Oops, I said 800 million. I mean $800 billion on the military is ridiculous.
Yes, you know how much a tank costs, Jesse.
Yeah, honestly, if we stop floating around the China Sea and patrolling other places of the world like that,
you just act like for some odd reason you think if we don't do it, that we'll just be fine. It's
we
like
will be fine.
9/11 never happened or something. You really don't know how close we.
What does that have to do with patrolling the China Sea?
You don't know how close we are to going to war almost every day, do you? You really don't know what it's.
With who?
Really,
with who? With who? With Al Qaeda?
Oh my gosh! Yes, do
A
you
bunch of dudes running around in house coats.
you
Like
understand what goes
who?
on in other parts of the world
With
and how
who?
it actually
Who are we
works?
close to going to war with?
There's all kinds of we're almost daily about to go with China or North Korea.
North Korea, really?
Wow.
Oh my god.
You just think everybody's a joke. You're one of those people who thinks everything's a joke until like a building blows up next to him or something.
Into what?
You're one of the people who think everything's a
North
joke.
Korea can't even feed his people, dude. You worried about North? You worried about going to war with North
What
Korea?
they can do. They can launch, but they can launch them. They can launch a missile to the stratosphere. They can't. They don't
So
give a
what?
damn about feeding their people, Jesse. He
What?
does not. They don't give a damn about feeding their people. They care about
And I'm
building up
sure
the
he gives a
military.
damn about
They
attacking
don't
the
give a
U.S.
damn about feeding
He's
their
not
people.
like. There's no way in hell he would attack the U.S. or our
Jesse,
interests.
he doesn't give. It doesn't matter. But the U.S. has allies, or do you not understand how this
And he
happens?
hasn't attacked them yet.
Do you not? So that means it's not going to happen. Okay, the Vietnam War didn't happen until it happened. Japan didn't bomb Pearl Harbor until they bombed Pearl Harbor, Jesse.
We should have never been in the Vietnam War.
We went to the Vietnam War because we had allies who were involved in the situation. We went to go help our allies. This is
No,
what
we
you
went
do.
to Vietnam War to spread democracy into Asia.
No, we actually went there just to North and South Vietnam were going at it, and we went to help some allies. That's all we did.
No, we went there. We went there because we were scared that communism was going to spread throughout
It
Asia
was
if
already
they conquered
communist, Jesse.
Vietnam.
It was already communist. Communists weren't
What?
taking over. It was
That's
already
why we ended up there.
They were already communists. They were trying not to be anymore, but that didn't
No,
work.
it was not. Part of the country was. All right, man. But hey, we're gonna wrap up another week. Hey, we're gonna wrap up another week, man. It was fun talking to you, dude. You give me a lot to think about.
I don't understand. You got a weird look at reality. You think America has really high poverty when we have lower than almost everybody else. We're just the same as everybody else. You think we have, but we just
I said the richest country in the world. It's the difference. The
yeah,
richest
but
country in the world.
the second place country has higher poverty, so I don't understand the problem. No, we are the richest country in the world. That doesn't mean that everybody in the country is going to be rich. That's not how that actually works.
Everybody should have at least health care.
Oh no, you know what? You are correct. Here's my question. Once again, why are you not pushing? And seriously, why are you really not pushing just to expand Medicare to those who just want it? Just open up the rolls.
I agree with that.
American citizen should be eligible for Medicare. Period.
I agree with that 100%.
So then get with your people. Talk to your people.
Dude, it's not the progressives. It's the
right AOC in the squad. Write the squad.
they already been pushing this. What are you talking about?
They're not pushing. No, they're pushing Medicare for all.
So you're saying just for the people that need it. Either way, the Republicans are not going to go for it.
No, because then those who need it means that people aren't going to be able to get it. How about just those who want it?
At this point, we would take that or anything else dealing with healthcare.
Don't shove it down my throat because I have health partners and I love my shit. So don't fuck
Whoever
with
want it.
I'm smacking Medicare in the face. But y'all go ahead and everybody else can enjoy that Medicare crap. Go ahead, they can enjoy that. I'm all in. Right, but don't mess with what I got. Right? Like
I'm sure nobody's gonna mess with your insurance.
I gotta get subpar healthcare because you want subpar healthcare. Like
I don't want subpar healthcare. I got great healthcare.
Well, there you go. Well, then why are you pushing for other people to get crap healthcare?
I'm not pushing people to have crap healthcare. I'm pushing people to have healthcare. There's a lot of people that don't have healthcare. Yeah, everybody should have. Everybody should have healthcare.
Is it better to have health? Is it better to have no healthcare or crap healthcare?
Crap healthcare, easy.
You think so?
Because at least you can go see a doctor. At least you can see all this stuff with without getting bills. I mean, dude, there's people who can't go to the doctor. There's people who have no medication.
I know, because that's not part of going to the problem. I think that is a different issue. I think medication has to do with the pharmaceutical companies, and that's not doctors, that's not hospitals. So I think the government needs to smack, like legit, smack the shit out of the pharmaceutical companies, straighten them up and lower their prices. I think the government needs to do that. The government
Yep,
won't do that
and
because the pharmaceutical
neither
companies
side of the moderates are going to do that.
they spend too much money in those people's pockets. And they don't give a damn what side of the
In
aisle they
other
put
people's
money
pockets.
on. Like,
All
dude,
right, man.
they do. So, and because if prescriptions weren't so high, then medical bills would be low as fuck. It just would be. It's not medical bills are not the actual problem. The problem
Yes,
is
they are, dude. Medical bills are the problem too.
because it's prescriptions. Think about this,
Not
Jesse.
prescription. No, some
It's
people are
300
paying.
bucks. It's been $300 to get to the hospital in the ambulance for years. It just is, right? But there's a reason that a shot costs $2,000 and it's got nothing to do with the hospital. It's what they put in the damn shot. That's all the prescription companies. If you think about it,
So
everything's
you're saying procedures. So you're saying medical procedures are
don't
not.
actually go up that much. If you Jesse, look at a hospital bill and look at the charges. Literally, the charges. So what you're saying is you should. All right, it's prescriptions that are the actual problem. Unless you're really trying to say that the doctor's time is not worth his labor, then we got a whole different issue. But doctors
What?
don't really charge a ton. Like a brain surgery is going to cost way more than freaking operating on like I don't know a toe, right? Because it is what it is.
If you break your arm and go to the hospital, you know how much you're gonna pay?
The most of that's going to be in medications, though. To be really honest.
Oh God! Oh God!
Jesse,
All right,
do
dude.
you not look at medical bills? Most of that is all
Yes.
medications. Yes. Most of that's medication. And yes, it costs a whole lot of freaking money for an overnight stay in the hospital bed because it's a room overnight in the hospital bed. That requires somebody to be walking around looking at your ass, checking in on you because they got to be responsible for you because you ain't do something stupid like, I don't know, fall and break your neck. Right? You have to have a nurse there all night long to come and check on you. Oh, Mr. Evans, are you okay? Mr. Evans, here's a shot. Mr. Evans,
Oh
please
my
turn down the
God,
remote. Mr. Evans, I
dude.
gotta come say hi to you because, well, I'm getting. No, I was just saying. Like, seriously, like ICUs are really, really expensive. But once again, it's an ICU. So if you take into account what a person can sue for, right? Because obviously, if doctors make a mistake, they can get sued like crazy. So bills are going to be up there because they're going to charge a lot. And I kind of get that. It's a fair exchange, right? If I make a mistake, you can sue me for millions. Fair enough. I'm going to charge you millions. We're all in this. Like, fuck it. I get
Oh,
it. I'm in. We can do that. You may not like that, but I'm doing that dance. You are
that
not
is
going to sue me
ridiculous,
for
dude.
millions.
So,
You don't think your
so
life is worth
if that
millions?
was the case,
Then don't sue me for millions.
if you hit someone in a car, they can sue the insurance company for millions. So you
They
saying
do.
insurance companies should charge people millions? That's ridiculous, dude.
No. What I'm saying is with doctors because doctors have really high insurance for their medical malpractice is
Yeah,
ridiculous, and it's only ridiculously high because we can sue for every goddamn thing.
but you can sue anybody for anything.
That's part of that's why that's another reason shit's so expensive, dude. You have to cover that. That medical malpractice insurance is ridiculous. The doctor's not paying for that out of his pocket. Someone's got to pay for that. That's got to come from the very people we're freaking gonna be able to sue them. And I hate to say it like that, but business is business, man. That's just charge that shit to the game. My other issue is this. I get it, Mr. and Mrs. Got brain cancer and everything else. I'm all in. I understand you got brain cancer and you need Dr. Bob to go ahead and do his thing and get that out, or Mrs. Anderson to go ahead and Dr. Anderson, she can go ahead and cut your brain open and get that cancer right on out. You want her, you expect her to do a damn good job, and you trust her, you believe in her because she went to school, she got the good grades, she put forth the work, she did all that. And then after all that's said and done, you want to be like, well, now you know what? I don't really want to pay this bill. That's just too expensive. I can't afford it. You know what she didn't say? You know what she didn't say? I ain't got that kind of time. I really can't afford that. I got to go to my second job. I got some other things I got to do. I can't cut this person's hair right now. I got other things going on. Right? Like, you know what? She cut open your brain. She took out the cancer, paid the bill. I understand that people don't think their lives are worth what they're worth, but then shut up and then don't sue if there's a mistake. But you don't get to have it both ways because she'd have made a mistake. Oh, we're suing for $20 million. Now she's got to come out. Insurance companies drop her $20 million. Well, then and that's fair. And I'm all in because she fucked up. She made a mistake. Now a person can't talk. Got spit coming down their mouth. I'm all in. I understand. However, Jesse, we have just established that life is worth $20 million. So when she sends you that bill for $20 million, you can't complain. Just pay the bill.
Man, that sounds ridiculous. Anyway, man, we're gonna wrap it up this week. Hey, we're gonna wrap it up this week. Hey, thanks for listening to Wait What with Jesse and Dre, and I'm out.
Yeah.
Peace.